A camper bitten by a rattlesnake in a remote part of Yavapai County rapidly deteriorates as deputies race to get him life-saving medical care. The wildland fire community is mourning the death of a San Carlos Apache firefighter support crew member who suffered a medical emergency while working a fire in New Mexico. And speaking of San Carlos, a San Carlos Apache police officer is indicted on federal charges accusing him of knocking out a handcuffed suspect and then falsifying a police report. And yet another bathroom camera case. This time police say a Mesa man admitted secretly to recording men inside restrooms at Arizona State University for years. Good morning, Central Arizona, and happy Thursday. Those stories, your Central Arizona weather, including a significant return of thunderstorm chances this weekend. And they're beautiful, they're big, and they're part of what makes Rim Country special. But Payson has a friendly reminder about those elk wandering around town. I'm Randy Roberson. This is Tonto-TV, your Central Arizona news.
From Prescott and Payson to Sholo, Flagstaff to Fountain Hills, Tonto-TV.com. We don't tell you what to think, just the facts, ma'am.
Topping our news today, a Yavapai County camper is recovering after deputies helped keep him alive following a rattlesnake bite in a remote wilderness area. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says 2 deputies responded late in the day on July 29th to an area off the Perkinsville Road. Initially, the man's symptoms were relatively mild, but because of the remote location and difficulty getting an ambulance to him, officials called for a helicopter. And that decision proved important. While waiting for medical personnel, deputies kept the victim calm and limited his movement, trying to avoid anything that might accelerate the spread of venom. Then his condition rapidly deteriorated. The sheriff's office says the man began vomiting and suffering convulsions and severe muscle spasms. Once medical personnel arrived, deputies cleared and secured a helicopter landing zone, and the victim was flown to a Phoenix area hospital. After spending 3 or 4 days there, he was released and is now recovering at home back in Yavapai County. It's also an important reminder during rattlesnake season, if you're bitten, don't try to capture or kill the snake. Don't cut the wound or attempt to suck out the venom, and don't apply a tourniquet. Stay as calm and still as possible and seek emergency medical help immediately. In other news, the wildland firefighting community is mourning the loss of a San Carlos Apache man who died while supporting firefighting operations in northern New Mexico. 62-year-old Randy Lupe of the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation died this past Sunday after suffering a medical emergency while supporting crews assigned to the Frioles fire. Lupe was serving as a temporary emergency support crew member assigned to the San Carlos camp crew. Emergency personnel responded and transported him to a local hospital, but despite life-saving efforts, he did not survive. Camp crews are part of the enormous behind-the-scenes operation required to keep firefighters and incident personnel functioning during major wildfires. Their work may not always happen on the fire line, but it is demanding, essential, and an important part of every major incident. The specific nature of Lupe's medical emergency has not been released. Our condolences go out to Randy Lupe's family, friends, and crewmates, the San Carlos Apache tribe, and the entire wildland fire community. Well, still ahead, and while we're talking about San Carlos, a former San Carlos Apache police officer is accused of punching a handcuffed man unconscious, then allegedly altering another officer's report after learning that he was under investigation. And yet another disturbing bathroom recording case, this time at Arizona State University, where investigators say the suspect admitted he'd been doing it for approximately 5 years. Those stories and much more coming up right after these words. Ponderosa Plumbing is Central Arizona's go-to plumbing team. For decades, homeowners, builders, and businesses have trusted Ponderosa Plumbing AZ for new construction, remodels, repairs, sewer and drain service, high-definition camera inspections, water heater installation, water treatment systems, and expert slab leak repair. When experience matters, when quality matters, when getting it done right the first time matters, Ponderosa Plumbing delivers. Locally owned, highly trusted, serving all of Central Arizona with honesty, craftsmanship, and unmatched know-how. Located at 107 West Wade Lane, Suite number 5 in Payson, call Ponderosa Plumbing AZ today at 928-476-4727. Ponderosa Plumbing AZ. Experience you can trust, quality you can count on. For years, KRIMFM.com has been your connection to Rim Country. But Central Arizona is bigger than one town, and our mission has grown right along with it. KRIMFM.com is now CentralArizonaRadio.com. The same local commitment you've trusted, now with a bigger reach, a stronger voice, and a name that says exactly who we serve. Local news, Central Arizona weather, community spotlight, Payson Longhorn sports. Great music and the stories that connect our communities. CentralArizonaRadio.com. Take Central Arizona with you. Well, welcome back. In other news, a former San Carlos Apache police officer has been federally indicted for allegedly using excessive force against a handcuffed suspect and then trying to cover it up. The U.S. Department of Justice says 29-year-old Jacob Christopher Slauson is charged with deprivation of rights under color of law and falsification of records. Prosecutors allege Slauson punched a handcuffed man sitting in the back of a police car, knocking him unconscious. He's then accused of dragging the man from the vehicle, causing the victim's head to strike the concrete and split open. Federal prosecutors say that after Slauson learned he was being investigated for excessive force, he allegedly added false and misleading information to another detective's report in an attempt to obstruct the investigation. Well, those charges are allegations, and Slauson is presumed innocent until proven guilty. If convicted on both counts, he could face up to 30 years in federal prison. Well, moving on. In yet another case involving secret recordings inside a public bathroom, a 33-year-old Mesa man has been arrested after police say he admitted to secretly recording men inside restrooms at Arizona State University and allegedly told investigators he'd been doing it for about 5 years. Christopher Michael Sutherland was arrested Tuesday on felony counts including burglary, voyeurism, and unlawful recording, along with misdemeanor trespassing. According to court records, the investigation began when a man inside a restroom stall at ASU's Noble Library spotted a phone being held over the wall. The victim confronted the man, took his picture, and gave police his direction of travel. Officers later located Sutherland at ASU's Business College. Police say videos on his phone included the victim who reported him and Sutherland allegedly admitting going to ASU that morning specifically to record men in restrooms. More disturbing, investigators say he acknowledged coming to the university roughly once a month for the past 5 years for the same purpose. ASU police say Sutherland has no affiliation with the university. His bond was set at $50,000. Man, coming up, enjoy the hot sunshine while you've got it. That is, if you can, because Central Arizona's weather pattern is about to make a pretty significant change just in time for the weekend. I'll tell you when it arrives and what it could mean for your weekend plans in your Central Arizona forecast coming up next.
I'm Garrett Goldman, and this year my wife and I decided to remodel our home. The home was built as a period-specific home modeled after an 1800s farmhouse and had single-pane windows which were very inefficient. When we started the planning process, we interviewed several window companies to retrofit the existing windows in our house, and we chose Lowry's Window and Door as our contractor. The reason we picked Lowry's is their customer service. The owner of the company, Bobby Lowry, came out to our house multiple times to identify a window that would fit within the existing windows, and then also a method that would allow us to keep all of the existing woodwork in the house and not have to redo any of it. Looking at all of the options for windows, we chose Pella double pane windows for our house because of their look and also their ability to be retrofitted into the existing window frames. Since completion of the project, we absolutely love our new dual pane Pella windows. I would recommend Lowry's for anybody looking to retrofit your existing windows or a new build because of their experience, craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service.
Now, taking a look now at central Arizona weather, we're starting this Thursday with clouds in some areas, but expect increasing sunshine and another very hot afternoon across central Arizona. Higher elevation communities will generally reach the lower to upper 90s, with Heber around 90, Prescott in the mid-90s, and Payson approaching 100 degrees. It gets considerably hotter as you drop in elevation, around 103 in Sedona and Globe, and near 109 degrees today in toasty Tonto Basin. The storm chances are minimal today, although Heber carries about a 20% chance, with only a slight chance around Payson tonight. Overnight lows range from the lower 60s in the high country, upper 60s around Payson and Prescott, into the mid-70s around Sedona and Globe, and the lower 80s in Tonto Basin. On the extended outlook, Friday remains hot and mostly dry during the day, but changes begin Friday night. Thunderstorm chances increase across the region Saturday, especially Saturday night, and Sunday looks like the biggest weather day of the extended forecast. Showers and thunderstorms become likely across central Arizona, with chances reaching 60 to 70% around Payson and Rim Country, and around 50 to 70% in Tonto Basin. And thankfully, those storms will also bring a substantial cool down. Payson drops from around 98 today to 89 Sunday and just 84 degrees next Monday. Tonto Basin goes from around 109 today to 100 Sunday and 97 on Monday. Scattered thunderstorms remain possible Monday before conditions begin drying out again Tuesday and Wednesday. So enjoy the sunshine today, but if your weekend plans have you outdoors, keep an eye on the sky and be prepared for lightning, gusty winds, and locally heavy rainfall as moisture returns. And finally, if you live in Payson long enough, sooner or later you're going to encounter a local resident who doesn't use the crosswalk and weighs about 700 pounds. Well, we're talking, of course, about Payson's elk. They're one of the things that make Rim Country such a special place, and seeing a herd casually wandering through a neighborhood can still stop you in your tracks. But here's a friendly reminder, they're still wild animals. Give them plenty of room, don't approach or try to touch them, keep your pets at a safe distance, and be especially cautious behind the wheel anywhere elk are present. And while getting that perfect picture may be tempting, remember that your camera has zoom for a reason. So take pictures, enjoy the view, and appreciate one of Payson's most famous four-legged residents. Just let them have their personal space, because an elk selfie probably isn't worth explaining to the emergency room. And that's going to do it for this Thursday edition of Tonto-TV Central Arizona News. Remember, you can find our reports throughout the day at Tonto-TV.com and CentralArizonaRadio.com. Thanks for joining us, and make it a great day. Hey, it's Friday Eve.
From Prescott and Payson to Sholo, Flagstaff to Fountain Hills, Tonto-TV.com. We don't tell you what to think, just the facts, man. Woo!